Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and today's lesson is from a special request that one of my students gave me. They wanted to ask the difference between this, that, these, and those. So we're going to go into a lot of detail on those. All right. Also, pronunciation for this is key. Now, I do have a short that talks about pronouncing that TH sound. It's actually so simple that I teach you how to pronounce the sound in about 30 or 40 seconds. It's not hard to do. You just need to learn how to do it. So let's jump in. Here we go. All right. Let's jump into this, that, these, and those. These are called demonstratives. They're called demonstratives because they demonstrate. Here, the demonstrative adjectives demonstrate which noun. Usually, you have more than one of something, and you want to demonstrate which one. If it's close to you or near you, we use this or these for plural. If it's far away, we use that or those for plural. Now, if it's near or far is completely the opinion of the person who's talking. So people might disagree on which one to use, but it's the person who's talking, it's their opinion. Some examples here, give me that book or those books on the table over there. It's maybe across the room at a different place. Or this book or these books smell new. So something would be in your hands. It would be very close to you in the second example. First example, they're over there, the other side of the room. This is also used with abstract nouns like ideas or things that we talk about that we can't touch. Those are abstract nouns. For example, here, opinion. Using this or that is much more subjective if you were talking about something that you can't touch, something that is abstract. So here, this or that opinion is unpopular. Both would mean the same thing. Here are some examples of demonstrative adjectives. I gave a couple of notes as well to help you, but just take a moment, pause the video, and read these if you're interested in seeing some examples. All right, now take a look at this practice here. Go ahead and pause the video. It's very difficult to create practice for this unless there's context. We just don't have context in these single sentences. So focus on the singular or plural idea, if it should be singular or plural. All right, let's have a look at the answers here. Number 1, this, that. Number 2, these, those. Number 3, these, those. Number 4, this, that. Number 5, these, those. Number 6, this, that. Number 7, this, that. Number 8, this, that. Number 9, these, those. And number 10, this, that. Now again, without context, I can't tell you if it is this or that. So you can make up scenarios in your head and choose which one would be close to you and which one would be far away. Now let's take a look at demonstrative pronouns. Notice here the same words, but they're used in different ways. Adjectives are going to be in front of the noun, of course. Pronouns are going to replace a noun. So these words actually completely replace nouns. These are only used with a lot of context. You must have context in order to be able to use these words. You can't say, take this, unless the person there understands what you're saying, which they will because they're there with you. The same rules apply. If it's close to you, it's this. If it's plural, it's these. If it's far away, it's that or those. Here, look at the examples. Open that. You're probably pointing to something. Open that. That. No, not, yes, that. Also, in the second one here, I can't use this anymore. You're probably holding it in your hand and saying, this is broken. I can't use this anymore. It's used in a very similar way to the adjectives, except you must have that context. If you don't have the context, it's not going to make any sense. In the same way that pronouns without context don't make sense. If you walk into a room and say, hey, she's here, well, who is she? You have to have the context before you use it. All right, here's some more examples for you. Pause the video if you want to read them. You'll notice these are the same examples from before. I'm showing you the relationship between the demonstrative adjectives and the demonstrative pronouns. Now, these are a little different because you must have context, and without that context, they don't work. Even here, number 3 and number 4, the ones about the dog, you really need the context of having the dog with you or being able to point at the dog. The one at the third from the bottom, you'll never get home that way. This one just doesn't work without the noun. I'm really not exactly sure why, but we can't say it without the noun. So this would be an example where it just doesn't work. So pause it, take a read at it. If you have any questions about them, always feel free to put a question in the comments and I'll get to those. Now, a note. I hear students use this one and that one sometimes, and that's fine. That is a good English expression. But after adding one after a demonstrative adds emphasis to it. So it's not really necessary, but it adds emphasis. So for example, choose any chair, but this one is mine. Now, in this situation, the person is touching the chair. So the person is going to say, choose a chair, any chair, this one is mine. They're going to be they're putting a lot of emphasis on that one chair. We also, little note at the bottom, never use one and the noun. For example, this one chair is mine. You'll never hear that because here we have two nouns, one and chair, and they're the same thing. And also, we're not going to use one before the noun that it describes. So another reason to be careful when you say it. It's okay, I hear it a lot, but be careful that you are adding emphasis to something. Now, why is this important? It's not really that important. It is similar to the article the, and you might replace some of these adjectives with the article the, and that's fine. It can create confusion sometimes if you say this when something is far away. You should say that. By saying that, an English speaker is going to look away from you for something. By saying this, an English speaker looks towards you. So it can create some confusion, but I've never really seen it be a problem. It's just something that you'll need to know, and if you can use it, it's very, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you could be a little more precise with your language when you're talking about this and that, these and those. Don't forget the pronunciation short that I put out there. A lot of my students have a problem. Most of my students have a problem pronouncing TH correctly. And it's such a beautiful sound. So go and learn how to do that on the short. Stay tuned. A lot more videos coming. And don't forget, you can ask questions down in the chat. You can give suggestions or recommendations on topics that you want to hear about, because I have a lot of videos I want to make. But let me know what kind of videos you want me to make. Thanks. We'll see you next time.